Hello, hello. Welcome to an RN's life. Welcome, welcome. This is the next, let me see, my fourth content video, I believe. Yes, I'm on my fourth content video, but this one is really important. This is a must listen. This video is the psychology of men, but guess what? This is a special one, y'all. This one is the deviant switch. And let me explain what that is. I call it the deviant switch. So we're going to jump right in and get right to it. The deviant switch is all men possess something I call the deviant switch. So let me explain what that is. Men by nature are aggressive, violent, um, and they have a sexual deviancy about them. Now, even though all men possess this, all men don't act on it. That's why I call it the deviant switch. How this works is that the switch is activated based on experiences, social economic status, culture, how you were raised, morals, values, family support, all these things tie into a man's deviant switch. This deviant switch is in every man, and it can get turned on in the right circumstances for the man. So put it like that. Now, let me just say this because I don't want people to think that I'm bashing men. Oh, she's a man hater. Look at these videos, the psychology of men. No, I'm not a man hater. I have a son, I have a fiance, I've been married twice, working on the third marriage. So I don't hate men. What it is that these videos that I am putting out here are for women to understand men better so that they can make better choices. Because some of these men out here are not the correct choices. And as we can see in recent headlines with Diddy and Cassie and the turkey leg lady, and, just countless others that come on social media and talk about women being abused by men, and domestic violence, and not just the celebrities but just women that come, we hear about it all the time. Domestic violence is something in our society that is not taken seriously until somebody dies. When somebody dies, then everybody is so sad about it, but when a woman speaks on it, she is blamed and shamed, and all these things that go with it. So I'm going to get into that in another video. I'm not going to get into that right now. We're going to stay on the deviant switch because I think this is very important. How we know the deviant switch exists is because if it wasn't for the deviant switch in men, we would not have porn, we would not have prostitution, we would not have strippers, and we would not have little people videos. And when I say little people, I mean the ones we give birth to. We wouldn't have that. Those industries are ran by men, and are men are the main uh, customers. So if you look, when you look into, the trafficking and all these types of things. Now, I'm not saying that women are not involved with it. There are women that help men with these things. But again, a lot of women who participate in this behavior and that is a part of, this, there more than likely there is some abuse or assault associated with that female as well that was portrayed by a man, because usually that's how it goes. When you look at different stories, I mean, we have television channels with it. We have the ID channel and Snapped, and all these different channels. And when you see women that help men with these things, luring young girls, and luring women into things, more than likely it's because there is also some abuse in their history as well, and their way of thinking is skewed. So this is why there are women that participate in this behavior, that help men with this behavior, because in many cases men can't do this behavior alone, so they will initiate the help of women to help them you know commit whatever crime they want to commit more easily with the help of a woman. And it's women out here that don't care how other women feel. For example, that Maxwell woman that got locked up with that Jeffrey Epstein case, she was bringing young women to Epstein's island or whatever. So she was a part of it herself. So if I do some digging, I'm almost certain that I will find in her history that there was some sort of trauma with her as well, because it's not normal. It is not normal for us to participate in traumatic behavior unless it was done to us, because our psyche cannot handle it. That's what people don't understand. People could sit on social media all day and say, "Oh no, no, this and that, Cassie, this and that, money grab. She wanted to be there. This has and the third." You do not know. For those people who say stuff like that, they have no idea what it's like to be a victim. And there are some victims out there who will still feel that way because of the fact that they've been victimized and their self esteem is so low that they don't even care. So, I'm just going to bring this back full circle to the deviant switch. So, men have this deviant switch about them. All men have it. What happens is it gets activated different times throughout their life based on experiences, and their background. So, women, what you need to do, like I said in my Psychology of Men Part 2, which, ladies, please go look at that series. It's very important. I have up Part 1 and Part 2. I've completed Part 3. I just haven't uploaded it yet. And I will be working on Part 4. I wanted to get out the Deviant Switch because I think this is very important, because Diddy is a classic example of a deviant switch, even though he's in the entertainment world. Diddy is a classic example because this man has so much money and power. He's able to do these things on a different level. And that's why this case is, so crazy, because some people don't even believe it because it sounds so crazy. But when you have that deviant switch flipped, it's nothing uncommon about it. Usually men who act like Diddy, because there are men out here who are just like Diddy. They just don't have as much money as he does. But there's men out here on a lower scale that are doing the same things that Diddy is doing. Same things. If it's true, allegedly. I don't know. Put it like this. We've seen the rumors. We kind of know it's true and everything else. But for the sake of YouTube, because I'm on YouTube and this is a public platform, I'm going to have to say we don't know if he did it or not. This is all alleged. We don't know for a fact. These are all allegations with no proof. Even though we've seen pictures and everything else, listen, there is no actual proof that he is the one that committed the act. These are accusations. Now, my personal belief is that he did it. However, this is a YouTube video, it's on a social media platform. So, for that reason, they're all allegations. So, anyway, there are men with less money that does what Diddy do. So, these men, it's men out here, and I'm not saying every man is like this. What I'm saying is all men have a deviant switch. What it is that when you're dating a man or you're getting to know a man, you need to find out if that deviant switch is bad. That's what you need to find out. And the only way you're going to find that out is through time, listening, and paying attention, and don't ignore red flags. And another good thing to do until you find this out, ladies, is please don't jump on the pogo stick until you find out about that man. Because for women, once we get in a bed with a man, it's hard for us to separate our emotions from logic. Because for women, for us, after we sleep with a man a few times, most women, they get an infinity of getting connected. And men don't roll like that. Men, they can decompartmentalize, so they don't do what we do. So again, before you jump on the pogo stick, ladies, take your time to get to know the man. Find out about his family life. Find out if he has children. Is he taking care of his children? Is he a good family man? What was he like in high school? Find out what his childhood was like. What was he like in college? Did he go to college? Has he ever been to jail before? That's another thing, ladies. I'm gonna tell you something. there are there are certain types of men whose deviant switch is going to come on, and it's on, and then nothing you can do about it. And that's men that's been to prison, men that have trauma in their history. That those are two big ones. Two big ones. If you think that a man that has been to jail, and when I say been to jail, I don't mean on some traffic tickets, a few days, 30 days. I'm talking about men that have done at least over a year or more. They are traumatized. The things that they see in jail and what goes on in jail, those men are traumatized. So when you have a man that is traumatized, his deviant switch is on. It's unfortunate, but it's true, because he might have went in there not having his deviant switch on, but when he come out, it's on. So unfortunately, for what he's seen and heard, that deviant switch is on, and you don't want a man to spend the jail. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care who came home and who's married to who. Listen, all those men have a deviant switch. I'm sorry. I know y'all don't want to hear it, but I'm telling you, I am a psych nurse. I have interviewed inmates. I'm telling you from experience. Men that have been to jail have a deviant switch. And if you want to be with a man that been to jail, good luck. That's all I can tell you, because it's not going to turn out well. It's not going to turn out well for you. And just because you might know somebody, oh, my uncle been to jail, he was in jail for 10 years, and him and my aunt been together. Yeah, but you don't know what he's putting your aunt through, though, because she's not telling you. Because so many women want to keep a man so bad, they'll put up with whatever because they want to keep the wife title. So they will deal with it. So that's why I said men in jail, that's a big no-no. And men that have trauma in their history, you want to definitely stay away from them. You also want to stay away from men that have alcohol or drug problems. They also are another group of men that have a deviant switch, because alcohol and drugs alter the mind. So that's another one. So those three categories are definite deviant switch men. Definite. No hands down. Now, if they don't fall in that category, that's one of those three categories. That's when you have to start looking at the background. You have to start looking at family, children, relationships. Does he have friends? What are his friends like? What type of personalities does his friends have? All those things are important, because one thing about men, birds of a feather flock together. An upstanding man is not going to hang out with criminals, and criminals are not going to hang around upstanding men, because of the fact they have nothing in common. So again, you have to pay attention to what is going on in a man's background. Ladies, you have to stay off the pogo stick until this is accomplished, because you're going to be saving yourself a lot of heartache and pain. Because for women, once we get in a bed with a man, we start building an emotional attachment. And when we get that emotional attachment going, it makes it harder and harder for us to think clearly and to separate. So what you need to do is, if you're interested in a man for more than just one night, stay off the pogo stick. Now, if you're one of those women that needs to have sex, you can't wait, this is in the third, then have sex, have somebody that's a jump off for you. Somebody you don't care about like that. You can sleep with them 100 times. They still not for you. You just want to get one off and they cool with it. So if that's the case, that's fine. But this deviant switch thing is very important. I'm going to be doing a video on the psychology of domestic violence, the cycle. That'll be going up, because that's important also, because people don't know the domestic violence cycle when they see it. And also, I'm going to be talking about the signs of an abuser, because a lot of a lot of women don't even know what it is, what the signs are. But I didn't want to make this long, but I wanted to get it out here about the deviant switch of men. And women have to keep in mind that men are the ones that create wars, and they're the ones that commit the most violent crimes and things of that nature. And it's just like everything deviant in our society comes from men. So you have to understand that. So when you're talking to a man, dealing with a man, bringing a man in your fold, or even the men in your family, you have to pay attention to how they are, because all those things are important. You have to pay attention to, their backgrounds, how they interact with people and stuff like that. Are they an upstanding person? Even if somebody's really quiet, you have to watch those really quiet people too, because people tend to ignore really quiet men because they think, oh, they're harmless, they're nerds or whatever. Sometimes they be the serial killers. So you got to watch out for them as well. So, okay, ladies, I am up on 15 minutes. I'm going to close this one out. I might do a part two of the deviant switch because I don't think I really did enough justice with this video about the deviant switch. I think I could go a little deeper on it, and I think I will. It's just that I need to cut these videos, keep them short for now. I'm going to come out with a part two of the deviant switch, and I think I'm going to go a little deeper. But I wanted to put this out right now because, in light of what's going on with Diddy and Cassie and the turkey leg lady, is so much domestic violence out here, and it's just utterly disgusting. Because the laws do not protect women and children. Really, this is a man's world. Because men are going to stick together no matter what, even if it's in silence. You don't hear any men speaking out against Diddy, really. Any of the celebrity world, with the exception of 50 Cent. 50 Cent's just crazy. He just like to troll and just, do his thing. But you don't hear any of the men in the industry like really defending Cassie. You don't hear that. And it's very unfortunate because, again, women and children are not protected in this society. I know we have the mantra that Black women are the least protected, and we are the least protected. But overall, women and children overall are the least protected, because it's so many of us, women and children, losing their lives in society right now. If you pay attention to the news, it's a lot of women leaving here. It's a lot of women leaving in the hands of men, and it's a lot of children leaving here at the hand. Even though women are doing some of this, also, if you follow the breadcrumbs, there's a man behind the scenes. There's something that's going on with the man. Just like the last woman who killed her who unalived her two children. The woman with the kids went down. She put them in they were in the car in the lake. She wanted to be with another man. See, that's what I'm saying. The man said he didn't want to be bothered with the children. This is what I'm talking about. There's always a man. And I'm not saying it's the man's fault. It's the woman's fault. But what I'm saying is there is always a man at play in the background to this behavior. That's the point I'm making. And again, I didn't make this video to bash men. That's not what it's about. This video is for women to start learning how to maneuver with men. You have to start being more careful. These men are getting bolder and bolder. We're living in a time now where men are being more violent and more aggressive. And you single young women out here, you need to be on your game. You need to be on it, because these men out here, they do not care. They will hurt you, and it doesn't bother them, because that deviant switch, because men can decompartmentalize. That's why men can do this, because they can decompartmentalize better than we can. We give life, so we're not able to decompartmentalize the way that they can. They can separate themselves from it. We can't. So, and any woman that can't, she clearly has a lot of issues too. There's more than likely a lot of trauma and a lot of stuff going on where that part of her is just completely blocked off. But for the most part, when you look at the whole, men are the ones that can decompartmentalize the best, and they're the ones that can, you know, do these acts and this behavior and not feel any remorse. They will deny it. They don't care. They're like, whatever, because there's men out here that really believe that women are property. They really believe that, they believe that they could do whatever they want to women, and they don't care what, what anybody thinks or says. As a matter of fact, I heard a live, this guy on Instagram, he did a live, and he said that whenever he dates a girl, he doesn't mind giving her money. But because he gives her money when he's ready to have sex, he should be able to do whatever he wants to do to her. And see, that's what I'm talking about. These men think because they they know that money is power. They know that, and they use that money and power to control women. And it's not even, and not just control, but do whatever they want to women. And that's what they do. And that's why a lot of women are starting to level up now and get money of their own. So they won't be subjected to what, other women have to go through that don't have the money. So but even with that, women are still getting abused by men because they're choosing the wrong men. That's why it's important to listen to my Psychology of Men series, because you need to learn about men when you have money. I'm going to have a video about that too, about women who are the breadwinners with men who don't make as much as they do. I'm going to close out this video because it's long. It's getting to be. I'm going on 30 minutes soon, and I try to keep these videos as short as possible. I believe I'm going to have to come out with a part two of the deviant switch because I need to go a little deeper, because I need to give you guys more examples, and I need you to better understand this deviant switch with men, because it's really very deep. And I think when we don't understand the magnitude of how men really are, or certain men, I'm just saying men in general, how men really are, because nobody's really talked about this before. Not really, not, openly, and just, in general, and just getting it out there. I'm sure that there has been other conversations, but there's not, I haven't heard any real conversations about the deviant behavior of men, and how all men have that in them. So you know, I might just do another part two to it. I'm not sure. If you want more information on the deviant switch, then leave me a comment below that you need more info, and I could go kind of deeper into this. So if you have a question, if you have questions, or if you want a part two, then comment below and I'll do a part two and I'll go a little deeper. Or if you want me to pull out some psychological terms for it, or whatever, just comment below and I'll go a little deeper on it and give you more information on it. Or if you have any questions at all about the deviant switch, leave me questions or comments and I'll get right back to you. All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a good day. And I'll be back again.